were deciding what we were gonna do so that Caleb and I could get our Washington State history credit, we were still trying to figure it out, and that night we watched Evita. And then after watching Evita, Dad came into my room and was like, hey, what are we gonna do for the video? And so we're like brainstorming ideas, and I'm like, hey, what if we just had Che go around Washington singing about Washington State history? And Dad was like, that sounds like a great idea.
My name is Calvin Comparens, and I am playing Che Rivera, or Antonio Banderas.
One of my official jobs is choking Calvin.
It was very challenging because I had to wear a very hot suit.
Our trip took us about 2 weeks. And that all wasn't filming, but obviously we didn't take 2 weeks of filming shots. Well, technically we did. Dang it, let me rephrase that.
The worst part of the job was probably the heat. It was really hot pretty much everywhere we were going because it was in the hundreds, literally.
Camping for 2 weeks was very interesting. I think the most fun part of it was that we got a new campground every single night pretty much.
First off, it seemed a little difficult because we had to set up and literally take down camp every single day during the trip. It was tough at times, especially sometimes.
We're here to get the cow shot.
Get over there.
Is it better on the other side? Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to do this stuff.
Try to go to the other side. Tugboat, I guess.
Yeah, water. Put a bridge. Lake Quinault area.
If you are not on the right queue, then you are blamed, and they're like, yeah! Especially when you're in a hurry, like on the freeway, like if you have to stop by the side of the road for a freeway shot, if you're not on the right queue, you're done for.
Usually what would happen when we were filming a shot is that we would stop the car, and then I would get out and get my Che costume, and then Sophie and Caleb would get out and they would set up the shot, and then I would go where they told me to, and then they would give me directions of what to do, and then they would film it.
The best part of the job is finding all sorts of really inventive, cool ways to film Calvin. Because we would get out of the car and fantastic waterfall in the background. You're like, how are we gonna film this?
The best part of the job probably was getting super cool shots. For example, when Calvin was singing at the steamboat. That was one of my favorite shots.
Oh, hi. He didn't win anything for guessing I was Jean Valjean.
Ah. And here we have our tent setup.
The ground is hard to stake.
Yes. Trinity arranging beds. Look at how lovely this room looks.
I was arranging it.
How do you get into that persona of Che? How do you channel? What do you do to channel?
What do you think?
I don't think anything. I think about the lines of the song.
But then that kind of intensity and anger, where does that come from?
Yeah.
Well, maybe karate.
Yes. A rolling boil is
Which
where you
should happen
feel
pretty
like it's
soon.
just like a hot tub lake.
Hot tub boil.
Hot tub boil.
Here Caleb and Calvin are taking their lives into their hands.
Look at it.
You ready, Trin?
Yep, yep, for sure.
We're up here watching.
Set and go.
Listen and I will bring you up to date on the long proud history of Washington State. The story may take a little while to tell, but it's a high school requirement, so listen well.
How did it come about that wine was in water at Lake Chelan?
Well, see,
Do you know what it's like when wine is in water?
Wine in water.
you're just sitting around with your friends, and you just kind of feel down. And
Wine by itself, it's pretty good. But to really add the pizzazz to it,
But you take the wine and you stick it in some water, and it's a party.
Because then, you know what happens?
I mean, it's just so much better.
You pretty much make an instant party with that. Everyone goes crazy. Wine and water! Yeah! Ah!
Thank you for the interview.
See, exactly. It's like that. You need to put it in water.